Hello and welcome to Not Gambling Advice, the baseball betting stream on the Just Baseball Network. What's today? Wednesday, May 17th? Perfect. I got you for two MLB best bets. We're going to go over the model. And of course, we have a bunch of MLB cappers coming on to give picks. A little bit of a lighter day from our MLB handicappers. Not me. I got you for two picks. But everyone's kind of afraid to come on and give picks. I don't know what it is. So we just got a few different plays. But of course, we're still going to go over all the games. And if you have questions, feel free to fire them in chat. I'm going to answer them. We are going to have a great day. Remember, if you ever miss any picks, right? You come in late to the stream, you whatever, right? Maybe you miss a day of stream and you're like, what were those picks that those guys were given today? They will all be tracked on the Pickett Sports app. It's a free app. When you download it, sync your sportsbook too, right? Because you want to track your own plays. As a profitable, long-term sports bettor, you got to make sure you are tracking your own plays. So download the Pickett Sports app and use code PETER when you sync it. So again, you can track and then you can follow all of our plays. Really cool thing on BetMGM today as well. So on BetMGM, you will see a bonus bet in your account. That's a great thing about downloading BetMGM for first-time users. Use code JBFans, wager $10 on any money line on the MLB, and then get $100 in bonus bets. But that's not even a part of it. For all the new users who have used that code, every Wednesday and every Saturday, you are going to see bonus bets in your account. Use the King of Sportsbooks. I use it. These are where all my lines are. This is what we reference on the show. So let's get after it. But again, just for anybody new coming into the stream, this is a competition, right? As you can see, the leaderboard is up. We are tracking everybody's units. So it's not one of those betting shows where you come on, you're like, this guy sounds good, but is he actually winning bets? You're going to see. It's all transparent. So right now I'm in first, right? So the point of the competition is whoever wins at the end of the season will get 2 tickets to the World Series or a $500 cash prize. If I win or I finish second, a subscriber of this Twitch channel is going to get those World Series tickets or the $500 cash prize. It's only a couple bucks a month to subscribe. We greatly appreciate it if you would. Again, you don't have to. Everything is free. All we're trying to do is win you coin. But a good part about subscribing is you'll be entered into giveaways. And then, of course, the big giveaway at the end of the season will be World Series tickets. And I'm planning on winning this thing. But before we get into today's picks, let's do a quick recap of yesterday. How'd yesterday go? Kind of mid. Baltimore versus Los Angeles, first 5 over. Cashed. Moderately easy. Not really, honestly. It was kind of sketchy there in the early goings, but then it just unraveled and we were able to hit that with relative ease. Colorado Rockies pushed through 5 innings. Honestly, tip your cap to Brandon Williamson. Just tip your cap because I don't know how he did that. I mean, he was in the minors. He was walking the world. He was giving up tons of hard contact. We dropped him on our prospect rankings, and that's what he did. Like, that's why baseball is so horrible and amazing at the same time. Because the guy who couldn't find it in the minor leagues comes up in Coors Field in his debut and tosses a shutout. The good thing is we pushed. That's like why I love this system so much. Excuse me. Is that even if that guy, Brandon Williamson, throws a 5-inning shutout, Chase Anderson gave us 5 shutty, we ended up pushing. Phillies, I banned you last season, and I banned you early. I'm getting this close to doing it again. What a horrible performance. Horrible. Sixers lose in the second round of the playoffs. Eagles lose in the Super Bowl. And you don't have any heart to beat the Giants? 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position. 12 men left on base. And thanks, Kyle Schwarber, for the home run late, so we lost on the hook. Giants did their part. Had no problem with the Giants at all. But nice job, Philly. You ruined everything. You ruined a great day. And we lost 0.25 units because freaking Byron Buxton hit a double in the 9th. I mean, come on, Buxton. A double in the 9th inning? And, of course, Anthony Santander looked like dog shit. So, not a very good day. But that's why we have another day. And to be perfectly honest with you, I felt that because we're on a 14-7 run in MLB right now. That day felt shitty. And we still only lost 0.25 units. I'm ready to win it back today. I got 2 MLB best bets. Let's get ready to roll. All right? The first one on the slate is the Los Angeles Angels versus the Baltimore Orioles at 6:35 p.m. Eastern. We're going to watch Griffin Canning pitch against Kyle Bradish. So again, we cashed the first 5 over yesterday, but now it's time to go in the other direction. This isn't really a flashy pitching matchup, right? But I think Canning and I think Bradish can be very effective in these spots. So Canning, he's not a great pitcher, right? But he's not as bad as his 6.38 ERA would indicate. All of his ERA estimators point to positive regression, whether that be his 5.25 xERA, 5.10 FIP, or 4.65 xFIP. He's throwing his fastball harder than ever. His slider spin rate has also risen from 2021 because he didn't pitch in 2022. He's coming off back-to-back rough starts against the Astros and the Cardinals, but the ERA in those starts was 11.41. It was terrible. But his FIP was 6.65 and his xFIP was 5.23. That tells me that he got really unlucky in those starts, and I think he's going to revert back to the mean today. I spoke about the Orioles, being average against right-handed pitching yesterday, but I was like, all right, it's Chase Silseth. The bat should come alive, and they did, but they didn't really hit as well as I thought they would. But Chase Silseth is a straight-up downgrade from Griffin Canning. Chase Silseth is 22. He doesn't have all the stuff yet. Griffin Canning is a major league pitcher. He is better than Chase Silseth. And the Orioles, they still rank 18th in WRC+. They rank 17th in OPS against right-handed pitchers. But basically what I'm here to say is I don't think Canning dominates, but I think 5 innings, 2 runs is in his future. And riddle me this, ladies and gentlemen. Riddle me this. Why is Griffin Canning's earned run prop at 2.5 and juiced towards the under after giving up, 11 runs in 8 innings? Why? I know why. Because he ain't giving up 3 today. He's going to shove, or at least relatively shove, compared to what the line is saying. Right? Griffin Canning against the Orioles on the road has a 2.5 earned run line, minus 130, minus 135 towards the under. You tell me what that means. I think I know what it means. So Kyle Bradish's earned run prop is also juiced towards the under, but it's minus 160. 2.5 earned runs, juice the under at minus 160. Bradish is another pitcher whose ERA doesn't really tell the full story. It's not egregious, but every ERA estimator has him under 4.56. He's posted a 4.31 xERA, a 4.36 FIP, and a 4.08 xFIP. Pretty solid. His slider and curveball are above average pitches. As you can see by these videos, he's freaking, let me see this. Oh, dropped off the table. His slider and curveball are above average pitches, but the issue has been his fastball. Clearly, both the Orioles and Bradish know his shortcomings with the fastball. That's why the usage is dropping, and the results are following. Look at that nasty slider. He started the year off poorly. He's just throwing too many damn fastballs. I watched his past 2 starts, and he just looks so much better with these changes. He's tossed 11 innings and only allowed 4 earned runs against the Pirates and the Braves. I'm not saying, again, he's going to dominate an Angels lineup who is above average against righties. This is not an easy matchup for him, but I just don't see him getting blown up, right? Similar type of line. I think after 5 innings, we got a 2-2 ball game with a total of 9. And the reason I like it is because last night's game was quality rest for quality arms. The only arms that are most likely not going to be available today is Brian Baker for the Orioles and Andrew Wantz of the Angels. The Orioles bullpen is elite. We don't really have to get into that. Yenier Cano, Felix Bautista. Cano pitched yesterday, but he only threw like 8 pitches. He'll be fine. And Estevez and Moore, so Carlos Estevez, who's been a great closer for the Angels, and Matt Moore, they're both going to be available today. And when they're both available, the Angels bullpen can be very effective. But another thing, right, and what put it over the top for me, because it makes good sense from a baseball perspective. Not great sense because it's not that great at pitching. Angels bullpen could be due to blow up, but it should be around 8.5. I still see value just from a baseball perspective. But from a weather perspective, the conditions are the complete opposite of yesterday, right? Remember when we talked about, we were like, I like the first 5 over. These 2 starting pitchers, yes, offense is great, but it was the wind blowing straight out to center field, 10 miles an hour. Today, 10 to 15 miles an hour blowing straight in The wind has really done a complete 80, and we do have a better pitching matchup than yesterday. I will take Griffin Canning and Kyle Bradish over Dean Kramer and Chase Silseth any day of the week. This game has hit, or these two games in the series, it's gone over in both of them. It ain't going over today. Give me the under at 9. I got it at minus 105. Look at that line movement, ladies and gentlemen. It is down to 8.5 on BetMGM when I'm speaking to you right now. We love that line movement. Considering it, I got it at minus 105. So it then adjusted to minus 120. Then it's all the way down to 8.5. There's a reason that line is plummeting. We should see an under today in that game. Big fan of this under, but you're probably wondering, Peter, would you play it at 8.5? Stop talking about 9. 8.5 is a different number. I would play it at 8.5, considering, and we're going to go over the model in a second, the model says the total should be closer to 8, not 8.5. So you're still seeing value on 8.5. If, I don't know, what is it on BetMGM right now? Let's give a quick check for the people. What is it? Let's see what the current line is. Oh, Rockies. Rockies. Battled all the way back. That's interesting. Giants pissing on the Phillies. Good riddance, Phillies. Ugh. All right. Yeah, it's at 8.5 minus 105. I still think 1.05 units is worth it. I really do. Maybe you could do 1 unit, obviously, because you've lost some value, but I still really like the under at 9 runs, and still at 8.5, there's still value there. Let's move on to our second game of the day. And this is a line. Let's see if this line has moved just before I continue. Okay, so it's still at 9, but of course it's juice. So we'll talk about it. Cleveland Guardians versus Chicago White Sox at 8:10 p.m. Eastern. The pitching matchup is Peyton Battenfield versus Mike Clevenger. So, truthfully, I really wanted to bet the Guardians today. And I know I've been speaking about that, but I was just like, I like Battenfield's matchup today because Battenfield, and I'll talk about it more, but he allows a lot of hard contact. The White Sox don't hit the ball hard. We'll talk about it. So I was like, I kind of like the Guardians today, especially off the White Sox scored a bunch of runs yesterday. But then Jose Ramirez was put on the bereavement list. So he's not going to play today. So I was like, how are the Guardians going to score? Because their offense has been just dreadful. I'm going to take the under, and here's why. So Peyton Battenfield, like I said, very interesting arm. But his secondary offerings are getting plenty of swings and misses, but he's allowing a lot of hard contact. The only thing that concerns me is, of course, this hard hit rate, which is at 50%, which has led to his 5.38 xERA compared to his xFIP and FIP. But the xFIP and the FIP agree with me that he's not that bad. He has a 4.46 FIP, 4.56 xFIP. Those numbers aren't great, right? But they're not 5.38 xERA bad. So it does point to some at least moderately positive regression. The thing is, you could say, well, he gives up a lot of hard contact. So how is he going to regress in a positive way? Well, the hard hit rate shouldn't be a big issue today. The White Sox clear better split is against left-handed pitchers. It's been that way for a long time now. They rank 22nd in WRC plus and 22nd in OPS against right-handers this year. There's 30 MLB teams, ladies and gentlemen. So they're in the bottom 8 in Major League Baseball in both WRC plus and OPS. But it gets even worse. 24th in a hard hit rate against righties. So the downfall of Battenfield is what the White Sox already struggle with. I think Battenfield can give us a good outing today. But the Guardians' offense is just not good. I mean, it's just not good right now. And we're sitting on Guardians to win the division ticket. It doesn't look good right now. The Twins just looked objectively better. Of course, things change. Weather gets hot. We'll see. I'm not giving up on it at all yet. It's May 17th as we sit here today. So people are asking about, am I worried about the Guardians? Not even a little bit. Because it's not like the Twins are pulling away either. They're tied with the Dodgers right now. But the Guardians' worst split is against lefties, right? They're worse against lefties and they're facing a righty today. But the thing is, they've been horrible against righties. They're dead last in hard hit rate against right-handed pitching. They're tied for dead last in WRC plus and second to last in OPS. If we just look at the month of May, they have a 58 WRC plus against righties. It's horrible. It's 42% below league average. And Mike Clevenger, he's going to get to face the struggling offense today. Clevenger has faced the Guardians a few times in his career, and it's gone extremely well from him from a quality of contact lens. Through 38 plate appearances against the Guardians' current roster, 139 opponent batting average, 226 xWOBA, and a 297 expected slugging. Those are elite numbers. And the Guardians still have one of baseball's best bullpens, and the most quality arms will be available. The White Sox bullpen is dog shit. I'm not here to pitch that to you. But at least they have their better arms available today, right? They didn't use much yesterday. Lance Lynn gave them 7 innings. So it's like, Yeah, their bullpen as a whole is bad, but like just give me your best and they can be moderately effective against this Guardians lineup that just sucks right now and they don't have their best hitter. Guaranteed rate field saw the wind blowing out to left yesterday. Today, blowing in. But it's not in particularly. It's actually blowing left to right. And there's a system on Action Network that has been caching historically. So, per Action Network, when the wind is blowing left to right, which it is today, the under is 157, 122, and 19. So that is winning at a 56% rate with an 8% ROI. It's a good system for a total. And it makes sense. The wind in that stadium in particular knocks those balls down. So teams that lack a hard hit rate, where the balls are already going to be knocked down, I think this is a very good underplay. And the model is obsessed with it. Has it at 7.5. Yesterday's game went over. This is going under. I got the total at 9 at minus 110. Currently on BetMGM, it's minus 120. You guys know I don't love laying juice on totals at minus 120, but this one I still will. Like if you ask me, all right, the line was minus 120 at 9 last night when I sent it out to my subscribers, I would have taken it. It's going under 9. It's one of my favorite plays of the day. Those are my two MLB best bets, all right? Normally we have a prize picks entry that we normally do. Today, didn't see a ton of value on the board. I honestly just don't love the board today. I like these unders. Everything else felt really sketchy to me. But of course, if you're still, want to dabble on prize picks and you're new and you saw the community entry yesterday, which got caked because I put in Anthony Santander. Nice job, me. What an idiot, me. Anthony Santander, you freaking, how did you, horrible at bats. But that's for another story. So it was on me. It was on me. But if you want to download prize picks, make sure to use code JustBaseball. And they will match whatever your deposit is up to $100. Absolute no-brainer. Let's get into the model, Producer Cohen. Let's get into the model. Remember, we go over the model. And before we get into the model, is there any other questions I should answer? I actually took the under in the Giants game yesterday. I was trying to tell you, but fucked up. Accidental wicked cash. Good for you, buddy Hendricks. Joey Gallo just hit a nuke. Ooh. I like all the pitcher highlights all featured by his case. Man City is so cracked. It's unreal. Peter, why didn't you take the A's under today? I saw the model, loved it last night. The problem is, I don't know if you've noticed, they love the under every day. The model loves the A's so much. It's very hard for me to really trust the model on A's games unless I originally love it, right? Because just because the model likes something doesn't mean I like it, right? The model likes things every day. But it's not, I'm not just some guy who just tails the model and it's like, oh, these are model plays. I'm a model better. That's it. Here you go. That's not who I am or how I bet. So I have my original leans. I go to the model. And if the model agrees with me, that's when it's worth a play. But I wasn't really thinking about that under in Oakland and Arizona. It still might hit, but that wasn't something that I was going to attack today. So let's get into the model. And we're going to start with this game, right? As you can see, the model for Angels versus Orioles still likes this under, as you can tell. So right now it's at 8.5, but it's plus 103, and 7.5 is minus 134. I've been looking at the model enough to know that basically what they think is, right, because they go by halves. So what they think the total should be is 8 at minus 110 or minus 115. That's about where the math lines up for this total. So that's why I said at 8.5, you're still seeing value, as you can see, plus 103 compared to, under 8.5 is going to be minus 105. So you're still seeing a good amount of value, not a good amount, but decent amount of value on this under in Baltimore. But what I also will say is that they think the Angels are going to keep this one close, right? 4.34 to 4.37. They think the implied line for the Orioles should be minus 111. Very interesting game here. I'm curious. And as you can see, Oriole Park runs minus 14%. So the weather is definitely going to impact this game. Let me know what you guys like in this game because, of course, I'm on the under. I don't know if you guys are tailing it or what you guys think, but that's what I'll be on today. Let's move on to the second game. So if you guys are subscribed to my Dub Club service or you follow me on Pickett, You probably saw something weird today because it was like Peters on the over and the under in this game. So let me break it down for you. As you can see, value on the over. I originally liked the over. But one thing that kind of sketched me out about this, and it might end up hitting. It might be one of those bets where I overthought it, but with line movement, right? Let me see what the Marlins total is right now. Yeah, it's at 7.5 at -110. So last night, I put it in at 7.5 at -115 towards the over. And I was expecting that to jump to 8, potentially get to 8.5. But what happened is it stuck at 7.5 and even moved down to -110. So I thought to myself, all right, I think I'm on the wrong side of this. So basically what I'm going to start doing, I put in lines the day before, right? A lot of people follow line movement. I'm one of those people who tries to start the line movement. I trust my numbers. I trust my model. I trust my way of sports betting. So I want to get in before the market settles, right? So when I do that, you're in, sometimes the line won't agree with you. Other sharp people, other good sports bettors are going to be on the opposite side of you. And sometimes you can be on the wrong side. And that's happened to me a couple times this season, but instead I wrote it out. Now, if that stuff starts to happen, I'm just going to cash out. There's no need, right? But the model still likes the over. But the line movement, where the public came in, I didn't like it at all. I got the heebie-jeeps. So, can you throw that up one more time, the Marlins versus Nationals? Because I want to go over that money line. Because I think one of the most popular bets that I've heard today is I'm taking the Nationals. And I get it, right? I get that people like the Nationals. Marlins struggle against lefties. Mackenzie Gore is probably better than Edward Cabrera. The Marlins aren't playing good baseball right now, and the Nationals are. As you can see, the model disagrees. It likes the Marlins. I think the Nationals are a very trendy dog today that I don't think ends up hitting. From a baseball perspective, I can see the Nationals working out. But from a betting perspective, I think the Nationals are going to be a little bit too popular today, and I don't think it ends up hitting. So I'm not right. It's not showing a ton of value, right? On BetMGM right now, it's -120. They think that's pretty spot on. So basically, this game became a no bet for me. But I do want to let you guys know that it still does like the over. It still does. So we'll see. From Nick, he said he cast the Rockies over. Nice bang for you, my friend. All right, let's continue. All right, so we got the Mariners versus the Boston Red Sox. And as you could tell, they like the Mariners as favorites today. The thing is, they've liked the Mariners as favorites this entire series, and the Mariners have really showed up this series. What happened yesterday between this game? I wasn't able to watch the Mariners versus Red Sox game. Anybody in chat? I mean, I'll just check the scoreboard real quick. What happened in that game yesterday? Red Sox won 9-4. Damn. So, though, the model continues to like the Mariners against the Red Sox. I can see why people will be on the Red Sox, right? You got a young pitcher against the Mariners who have been better. And I know at least Krabs, I saw that he's on the Red Sox. I kind of do like the Mariners today, right? Because models normally hate Marco Gonzalez. I think everybody thinks this is just some strange, weird line, when in reality, I don't think it's that strange. Marco Gonzalez is always undervalued by the market. Not saying he's a good pitcher, but he's always going to be an underdog. And he wins more often than he doesn't. And our model today likes the Mariners as favorites. So if you're thinking about a nice, cheeky dog today, consider the Mariners at +110. Now, sharp books have Sox at -130, offering best price for Mariners, definitely in Sox. Okay, so maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the model's wrong. We will see, right? They think the total should be around 9.5. Not much value there. Javon on Boston, team total over 4.5. We'll see. We will see, won't we? I don't think that's going to hit. I'm willing to say that. I think the Mariners win this game. Now, I'm not betting on it. So you could say, well, you don't have the stones to actually do it. You're not fading them. You're right. I'm not. But I'm not taking the Red Sox. I'm not. And I know everyone trusts Javon, and you should. Javon's fantastic, as is Krabs. These guys are really good. But for this play today, I think the Mariners take it. I do. I think the Mariners take it. I'm off it. All right, let's continue with more games. Okay, so this is another really interesting game. The model is saying fade the Mets again. Just fade them again. They like the Rays to win. Tough one. Because, like, are the Mets going to snap out of it at any point? Or are they just going to keep being dog shit? Producer Cohen, as a Mets fan, what do you think?
I mean, there's no sign for them to snap out of it.
There's no sign for them to snap out of it. So it might just keep taking the Rays until the wheels fall off. But what I will say is slight lean towards the under, right? I'm not sure exactly what the total is right now. Let's see what it is on BetMGM. It's at 8.5 at plus 100. So it is seeing a little bit of value. It is seeing a little bit of value on the under. I don't love the under. I don't want to bet on Mets games right now because it's like you're trying to catch the knife, right? Like one of these days they're going to win, right? That's just how baseball works. But is it this game? Like Senga has not been very good, but Fleming is terrible. So I don't like the under. Maybe it's like a contrarian weird under that ends up hitting. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of this one. Cohen, producer Cohen is a Mets fan. Do you have a lean on the total even? It's probably going under because the Mets can't hit.
Yeah.
But like Senga could get blown up today.
I like Senga.
You like Senga? You like the ghost fork? All right. Me neither. Why would you try and cap this team? I agree. I think you're wasting your time because it's the Rays should win. They're dogs, but like everyone and their mother's going to be on the Rays. You know that. I know that. We all know that. It's not worth it for me. I'm not touching that game, but I did want to show you guys the model showing you where the value is, and the value is apparently on the Rays today. All right, let's continue. So we got Brewers versus Cardinals. All right. As you can tell, the model, which I've noticed, and which is funny, the line is moving against Burns again. This shit just keeps happening. The books do not like Corbin Burns. There's something there that they regularly want to fade. And my model kind of disagrees. Rockies up 9-5. Jeez. 9-5. That's a Coors over if I've ever seen it. How did Gomber pitch? Terribly? Oh, don't tell me. Reds. Graham Ashcraft, bro. 4.84 ERA this season. Oh, look. Oh, the Diamondbacks A's under ended up being sharp. I mean, we'll see. Oh, now you're scoring Phillies. Nice job. Fucking dipshits. Oh, 3-4. Now you're scoring. Good job. I hate that team so much. All right. Baseball University. What's up? So we're talking about Brewers Cardinals. Slight value towards the over, not really. No real value here. I mean, I guess the Cardinals are sharp-ish. What's that line right now? Now the Cardinals are favorites. Holy shit. Holy crap. Are the Cardinals so sharp that they're going to lose? It's Corbin Burns. Maybe it's just sharp to be on the Cardinals. I mean, the Brewers can't hit a lefty, and Libertor's stuff in the minor leagues has ticked up a ton. Anyone have a play on this game? I'm perplexed. I definitely don't. Does anyone have a play on this game? I see you guys are basically on everything. You're on Rockies, Reds. Cardinals are pass. I like it, Macy. I can see that. I would just pass. Right? Like, what I've figured out from betting on baseball and just betting in general is that just because there's a weird line doesn't mean you have to take it. It doesn't mean you have to take it. You disagree with the model? I understand. Manaea's in the ballgame. Time to live bet the Phillies. I mean, screw the Phillies. They're playing. I have under 9. I disagreed. Under 9 in Brewers Cardinals? It's at 7.5. Facts, but we are degenerates. Yeah, I know. Phillies are close to off limits for me. I agree. Remember when I banned them last year? Remember when I banned them? I was like, this team sucks. But then I actually really like them in the playoffs. Because that's the thing. It's like I'll switch up my mindset about the Phillies. Like, get them in the playoffs. Nola, Wheeler, Ranger Suarez. That bullpen can be good in the playoffs. And then that offense, if it's rolling, like in the playoffs, I like them. Regular season, I hate them. Went back to them. Harper run prop has been printing. Good shit, Macy. Under 7.5, good looks. Cardinals can't hit righties. Brewers can't hit lefties. I agree. No, I don't use BetMGM. I use different line for different values. Good stuff. Good stuff. But I'm curious, how did you get 9 on that game? Because did it open at 9? No way. That's what I'm saying. Like, even if... Did you buy... Yeah, you didn't buy up a runs, did you? Yeah, from 8.5 to 7.5. I don't know where 9 was ever available on any book. But if it was available in your book, good for you. A lot of money in the over, but the total shot from 8.5 to 7.5. Under might be the play.
I think he said he took like an alt line.
Did you take an alt line? Yeah. I see it open at 8.5. I agree. I never saw 9. Yeah, don't buy anything, please. I agree. Huh. Interesting. Isn't this fun? Talking ball. All right. Do we have oh, we got one more game on the model. So, as we can tell, the model is a big fan of this under. Look at that value, right? We got it at 9 last night. People will be joining here in 1 minute. Just going over the rest of the model. This is the last game on the model. So right now, Guardians versus White Sox. They basically think the money line is a pick 'em. It's basically a pick 'em, right? 50.1% to 49.9%. Also, Jake is asking for the link in Discord. So we'll drop that in a second. Waddle. I agree. It is a waddle. Also, so as you can see, model absolutely loves this under. And I love it too. And a system matches it. Big fan of this under. So we'll see what happens, right? We will see what happens. Okay. So now it's time to bring on some contributors. And we have number 2, Jake Hazen, coming on to give us some picks. Remember, guys, unfortunately, we only have a couple people coming on to give plays. That's why I really wanted to put an emphasis on the model to kind of show you what that is, because we only have 3 people coming on to give plays. We have Jake, we have Arm, and we have Tomas. So we have Jake, who's number 2. We have Tomas, who's number 3 in the competition. And Arm's been kind of hot lately. Maybe now's the time to buy a little stock in Arm. So we got some good plays today. Is it Rockies 11-5? I love Coors Field. Just goes crazy sometimes. We got Jake Hazen. Let's welcome on Jake Hazen. Let's welcome on the man with the plan. Jake Hazen.
What up?
When are you gonna?
What up?
Can you throw up the leaderboard for us, producer Cohen? When are you gonna catch me?
Hopefully today.
Hopefully today.
I got a new mic and camera. Do I sound good?
You sound great.
Okay. This is like the first time actually testing it, so.
Moving up in the world. I love it.
Something like that.
You might have to turn up the mic a little bit.
Okay, hold
Just
up.
the volume a little bit.
How about now?
Yeah, you sound good. Yeah, you're good.
Okay, sounds good.
I mean, you're up almost 10 units on stream. You've been absolutely destroying bets. Royals last night? How about it?
Dude, how about them Royals, baby?
How'd
I
you
got
do
their team
overall?
total under right now, so.
You got the Royals team total under right now?
Yeah, and you Darvish lit up a double. Running in second, 2 outs.
Oh, it's 1-0 in the 4th. But you just got the
Yeah.
team total, so you're not sweating Padres not showing up.
Dude, Padres are horrible. I'll never bet that team ever.
So how'd you do yesterday overall?
Let's see here. I had Tigers money line head to
Bang.
head with the Bundo that hit.
Bang.
I had Royals, which was huge,
Huge.
and the 2 losers. What are the 2 losers?
Oh, so you went 2
God.
and 2.
Yeah,
But you
I
had
had
some plus money bets, so you ended up, I think,
Nats.
making
Nats first 5 was a dog shit bet. That was a really bad bet.
just a rat
And
shit bet.
The other bet I had was probably I can't remember what I had yesterday. God dang it! It wasn't the Dodgers. It was dude, Toronto, dude, Domingo Herman, dude. How about that fucking piece of shit?
What a scumbag.
I'm charging that.
I agree. Scumbag. Absolute
Dude, I lost
scumbag.
that first 5 because Isaiah Connor Falefa and Domingo Herman cheating.
Scumbag.
I mean, like, if IKF didn't hit that solo home run, see, that's when I really thought that the Yankees were cheating. When IKF went yard, I'm like, okay, something's up.
I agree. I was watching that game and I was like, we are cheating. Like, Judge wasn't cheating, but in this game, we're cheating because, like,
Yeah, obviously Domingo got caught, but like if IKF is going yard off a splitter down and away from Gosman, like I'm raising some eyebrows. Like that just doesn't happen.
counterpoint to the cheating, that might be his bright spot for the year. Like, everyone's got a bright spot.
Yeah, dude. This bright spot's shipping my first 5. Screw that guy.
All right,
All
so
right.
2-2 day, but you went up a little bit. Let's get into your first play of the day. What are you looking at?
2-unit play today, Pete.
2-unit bomb. You
Yeah.
don't come on this often.
First, I had like 8 2-unit plays last year. I went 7-1 on them, and I had one so far this year. It was Kirby first 5 versus Plesac. That's worth 2 units. That hit, and now we're coming to the play that you. I think the real reason you can say all this crap, all this bullshit about how like I cashed out on this play, but you cashed out on this play because I was on the other side, Peter. You're just scared.
Definitely not. Well, I didn't even know you were on this play until right now.
You were just scared. I saw that. I put it in the chat immediately. You cashed out. I put it in the Discord last night, and you send your subs a text like, "Yeah, we're not on this anymore." What's up with that, Pete?
Well, what's up with that is, number one, didn't see you were on the play. But if I had known, I probably wouldn't have cashed out because I would have faded you. Number two, I didn't like the line movement, and considering now that truthfully, I'm just messing with you. Now that I know you're on the first 5 under, I think it is the sharp play because when I bet over 7.5 last night, the model really liked the over. But I saw the line, and I was like 7.5 for Edward and Mackenzie Gore. Like, I'm gonna bet it, and I really hope the line agrees with me. It did not, so I was like, nope, not doing that. So, tell us why you're on the under.
Well, I love this play, and I'm happy the line movement agrees with me. So, let me pull up one more thing on Fangraphs real quick. All right, so we are getting a lefty and a righty, Edward Cabrera and Mackenzie Gore. Now, the funny thing about these two guys is that they're both huge reverse splits guys. Edward Cabrera, due to his changeup, he's a lot better against lefties. And in this lineup for the Nationals today, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 lefties today. And Mackenzie, how he does against lefties, go pitch by pitch here. So his changeup has a 156 XBA and a 221 xWOBA. He's throwing that pitch 33% of the times against lefties. Now his four-seamer has a 200 XBA and an xWOBA of 345. He's throwing that pitch about 30% of the time. The other percent of the time is a pitch that we're all scared of. It's his curveball, which has a 247 XBA and xWOBA of 375. So still another pretty solid pitch. So that's just 3 pitches we're getting today, and those how he does against lefties. So obviously against righties, not as good, but he's a reverse splits guy. So I do like the matchup today. And we all know Mackenzie Gore's biggest issues is walks, right? Well, how about these apples against right-handed batters? Nationals, last place in walks in the last month. So he's still going to walk people because it's control. I mean, I don't know. Like the thing is about Edward Cabrera, man, it's like he's either like it's kind of like Luis Mendia, that A's pitcher today. He's either Cy Young or he's the worst pitcher in the MLB. His stuff is so nasty. I love that guy.
Yeah.
He's just no control. But same thing with him. Like, he's either going to walk 8 batters or he's going to walk 1 and look amazing. And judging on the way how the Nationals bat and the way his changeup works against these lefties and how often the Nationals walk, and the righties being the worst split for the Nationals on top of that, and top of Edward Cabrera having reverse splits, dude, this is a matchup made in heaven for him. Like, this is – what else do you want out of this matchup? This is perfect. This is absolute perfection for him. And the other side of it –
it's not perfection.
This is a perfect matchup. Like, what better matchup can you find that will be better than this right now? 7 lefties, reverse splits, and the team is the worst team at walking against righties. What is a better matchup ever?
Yes. In a very small sample, they haven't been walking a lot. But
small sample. I think a month's a pretty decent sized sample.
I mean, it's May 17th. It's a good enough sample, but like for walk rates, like I get it for overall hitting stats like WRC plus OPS, like how are they hitting right now? Mm-hmm. But just walks in that limited sample, like, you know, what pitchers were they facing? I'm not saying I disagree with the play. I'm not at all. But for you to say it's a perfect matchup is a little bit much. I still like the play. But a perfect matchup, like I could see excuse me, continue. I'm coughing up.
Okay, continue. Can we at least say this is like a 9 out of 10 matchup, Peter? Can you say that? After you recover. I just had a
coughing attack. What was that? It is a good matchup for him. And I see why you like it. With Edward Cabrera, he's got reverse splits. Nationals don't walk too much. And they're a free swinging team, and against Edward Cabrera, when you're a free swinging team, that's when you can have success. Marlins, crappy team against lefties. I see it. I get it. And I understand why it's a 2-unit play. I just think there's a lot of variance with Edward Cabrera. Like, he could be so out of the zone that a team like the Nationals has no choice but to walk. So
True.
it's a low total, but you got line movement on your side. I cashed out for a reason. And people in the chat are asking 3.5 at plus 105 or 4 at minus 130.
Okay, so here's how I did it. I gave this to my subs last night. If you have 4, I'd put 2 units on it. 3.5, I do 1 unit.
There you go. Well,
So-
what about minus 130? Like if he has both?
I do 2 units on minus 130. I wouldn't risk to win 2 units. I would just lay 2 units.
2 units. Okay, cool. That's awesome, man. I think it's a good play.
Well,
see
we
what
haven't
happens.
talked about Mackenzie Gore yet.
Talk about Mackenzie Gore then.
We have to only talk about Edward Cabrera. So like I said, dude, this is crazy. Like these reverse splits are nuts, dude. Against lefties, this year is throwing a fastball 70% of the time, 353 XBA, 500 xWOBA. Dude, this guy is like bad against lefties. And his slider, people are slugging 1,000 off it. WOBA, xWOBA at 545, XBA 400. Like it's really bad. He's against lefties. But on the bright side today, Mackenzie Gore is facing one lefty. It's a pretty damn good lefty in Luis Arias, but outside of that, he's facing 8 righties today. And against righties, Mackenzie Gore this season, his fastball is thrown about 60% of the time, about 2.3 XBA, and then his curveball 23% of the time is about a 131 XBA, and then his slider is also pretty damn good pitch against righties. He's throwing about 16% of the time, which is a split away pitch for the most part. It's got a 230 XBA and a whiff rate of 45%. So pretty solid matchup. And like I said, another one of his issues is walks. And Marlins, the team I talked about, how the Nationals were the last team in walks. Well, guess who's second to last this last month?
Marlins.
Yeah, it's the Marlins.
Good stuff,
So,
man. I think
both
this is
these
really good
pitchers
analysis.
have reverse splits. They're facing majority of righties or lefties, vice versa, depending on the reverse split. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And both have walk issues, and both are facing teams that don't walk. So, I mean, I love this play a lot. Obviously, I was a little bit scared. There's a lot of variance with these guys who have control issues, but I think it's going to limit a lot of variance to a team that's so free swinging like this. These guys that get so much whiff. So, yeah, I love it. And the one thing I would be worried about this, though, like if I had to lean side in this game, I would definitely lean the Marlins because they're not as bad against lefties as you've been saying, Peter. They've been the top 15 team against lefties all season.
And what's that?
WRC plus.
Yeah, but look at BABIP. They're getting so lucky.
Oh,
It'll come
well,
down.
I mean, it makes sense, though. I mean, they're throwing out 8 righties today. So,
Yeah.
but Mackenzie Gore's reverse splits, so you throw it out the window.
It's good stuff. And I think the Marlins are worse against lefties than that stat even says. So I think that even only adds more to your point of like, yeah, they're a pretty good team against lefties. So everyone in the chat is just like, can I take the Nerfy? Can I take the Nerfy?
No, dude, you should never take a Nerf. I mean, if you want to
They're
screw
coin
around,
flip bets
go to the sports book. I gotta go to the sports book with my buddies. Like, sure, we'll pop a few Nerfies and stuff
for
but,
fun.
like,
But like, don't
yeah, but-
nuke a Nerfy. Like, you should never have like your full unit on. Like, it's so hard to handicap. Like, you're just tossing shit against the wall, hoping it sticks. Like, when I hear people are nuking Nerfies, yeah, Cam X Carter nuking the Nerfy. Like,
That's
no,
the guy
you
who's get the
should
World
not
Series.
do that.
That's the person who's going to the World Series tickets, Peter. Cam X Carter. That's the person who's going to do it.
I hope it hits. Like, it's just, what if it's 1-0 after 1? Like, Edward Cabrera gives up a couple of walks. It's 1-0 after 1.
Yeah, what if it's like
And
two
then-
weak-ass bloop hits, and then there's
it's
a run.
1-0 after 5.
and there's like no good contact at all? Like, that can happen. Like, just
That's
gotta,
baseball.
You got to have a little more wiggle room because you can have a really good read on a bet. And I mean, it's fun to do it before the bet starts. I hate doing it after because I'm complaining. But there's a lot of times in baseball where like your read is literally 100% spot on, but like just the team is just getting the luckiest hits or getting super unlucky. Like, luck's a real thing in baseball, chat. It's a real thing.
Oh,
Like,
it
you
is such
need-
a real. Even yesterday, Phillies Giants. I had the over 7.5. It ended 4-3. The Phillies went 1 for 11 with runners in scoring position and left on 12 on base.
And then you also got to worry about umpires as well. It's another factor. So like it's a whole big mess of just Just got to beat the variance. That's all you got to do. Just got to beat the variance.
Producer Cohen is on the nerfy. Producer Cohen is on the nerfy. He agrees with Cam Carter. He likes it.
Let's go.
Producer Cohen just said he did his homework. How could I not take the nerfy? 10 you whale nerfy. All right, people are fucking insane. All right, let's get to your next play.
That's
Oh,
it.
that's it?
Yep, just come on 2 units. I had all of my plays like today were in day games, but this play stood out to me quite a bit. So,
I mean, respectfully for the competition, I hope it loses.
Peter, 2 units, we can root for each other here.
No,
This is a sizable investment.
I definitely hope this wins because you're my friend and I want you to win all of your bets. And I want the people who are tailing.
See, I hope you go 1-1 tonight. You know, I don't hope you to lose, but you go 1-1. I passed you tonight. Like that's all I hope for.
All right, dickhead. Appreciate you, my friend. Thank you.
Appreciate it.
Thank you for. Wait. Before you leave, hold on. Any Prize Pick squares? Because I didn't have any today for people who want to play on Prize Picks. Do you have anything that you were thinking about?
Hold on, dude. This thing's a freaking factory. Let's see if Gene Segura's up for runs on RBI.
Because we don't have that many people coming on to give picks anyway, so I'm like.
I'm hopping on PP right now. I just need to see if Gene Segura is up for hits, runs, RBIs because that's take that under. That's a factory plan.
What about half a strikeout for Segura?
Dude, everything negative for Segura you take tonight. That guy sucks, dude.
Appreciate
I don't know why they
friend.
keep having him up. Like, it's not fishy. He's just so bad.
Appreciate you, my friend. We got Arm coming on, who is our Marlins resident guy, so he's going to talk about the play too. Appreciate you, my friend. Good luck. 2 unit play. Peace. Arm Layton. What's up, my friend? Arm's coming on.
Clear? Am I lagging?
You're good. I think you're good. Yeah, I think you're good.
Good. Let's go.
Yeah,
let's go. My computer's making noises over there, dude.
Great,
so.
Of course it is. Mine is too. It's just we got.
We're doing all right.
We're doing all right.
Oh, let's go.
So, did you hear Jake's pitch? What did you think about that play?
Dude, Edward Cabrera is the craziest roller coaster ride. I think Jake's reasoning was perfectly sound. That's just I'm too scared of. Like that's just not a ride I'm tall enough to go on.
Yeah.
And I like Edward. If last start I would have live bet smacked the Marlins first time through the lineup with how Edward looked. Second time through the lineup, he didn't get a single out. He walked everybody. Like I think he struck out 5 through the first time through and then walked 5 the second time through. Like it is a battle of Edward against himself, and there's no numbers that you can look into that'll tell you how Edward will pitch. It's all based on himself. So like I don't like betting on dudes that are competing against themselves. So I don't like touching Edward Cabrera starts because he could win you one and he could easily lose you one.
That's the problem. It's like sometimes he looks like the greatest pitcher alive. Like no wonder his MLB The Show grades are insane. And then sometimes it's like you should be in the minors.
Yeah, like go work on something. So like that's one I can't touch. All I'll say though is this Marlins offense is atrocious. And like they got away with one yesterday. Soler going yard, with down to their last strike. They won't be able to score without Jazz, and I don't think it's going to be good for them. So I think it's going to be hard for the Marlins to score runs moving forward. And I think Vegas already kind of has that priced in, but I think they'll be so bad offensively that Vegas still will improperly have it priced because I think they're going to average a couple runs a game until they really figure something out and change something up.
All right, let's get to your play. Thanks for the breakdown.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. You got 3 of them.
Yeah, so I got a few different ones today. We got 2 in the same game. So I guess we'll get one out of the way, and then we'll save the 2 Cardinals-Brewers plays there. But
perfect.
Red Sox-Mariners, first 5 under. 5.5 is a pretty high total here for a first 5. And, I get it because Brian Bayo is, somebody that you look at the bulk numbers on the season. He hasn't been fantastic, but you look at the last few starts, I really like what I've seen from Bayo, especially last start against the Braves where he goes 6 innings, 6 hits, 2 runs, and 5 strikeouts, 1 walk. He's gone back-to-back starts here of just 1 walk, back-to-back starts of 2 earned runs, and even the start before that, it was 1 earned run. All 3 of these starts, the runs have come on a solo shot or a 2-run shot, and that's really how the damage has been done against Bayo. Other than that, he's been really, really solid. And you look at where the environment he's pitching in right now or tonight, it's going to be at Fenway Park. the wind is, and it's apparently cold and windy. And looking at the model at Ballpark Pal, 36% less home runs, however you want to phrase that. Like,
Yeah.
if home runs are going to be knocked down big time, that's the one way Bayo's been getting killed is the long ball. And it seems like he's going to be in an environment where his Achilles heel is going to be hedged. And I like the way that he's thrown lately. I like how it bodes for Bayo. You go to the other side, Marco Gonzalez, I think that's like a top end gets outs guy. He had one really bad start. I think otherwise he's been okay. But the Red Sox are significantly worse against lefties. I think it's like a 80 OPS difference. I don't have the numbers exactly in front of me, but I think it was 740 against lefties and then way higher against righties. For me, that was enough with the splits and the bullpen that the Mariners have with the weather, with the way Bayo's throwing. 5.5 runs through the first 5, like 3-2 when I hit. I thought 5.5 was way too high, especially including the weather.
You're so right about the splits. The Red Sox against left-handed pitching this season, they're slashing 254, 342, 400 for a 742 OPS. Against righties, 274, 337, 468. So the power is much better against righties. It's going to be knocked down a little bit. They're facing a lefty today. Marco is the king of just 5 innings, 2 earned, and you're like, how did he do it? How did that wizard do it? This could be just a game that's like 2-2 after 5, and like it goes way under 5.5. This is a sneaky good look. Sneaky good look.
That one was talking to me, man.
I
that
like
one was
this
really
one.
calling my name. And that's a 2-unit. That's a 2-unit play.
We're not just messing around here, ladies and gentlemen.
No, that's a serious 2-unit play right there. Then we got a pair of 1-unit plays in this Brewers-Cardinals game. I thought this was an opportunity to make some money in this game because you had a kind of a shit show in yesterday's game. I know I took the Cardinals. That lost. That stinks, is what it is. But Wade Miley came out of that game very early, unfortunately, with an arm issue. And the Brewers, I think they still felt like they could win that game. And they knew that they had Corbin Burns going today. And they put their A team out there to try to get through the rest of the ball game. And I think they burned. I don't know if they've really come out and said exactly who's going to be available. But just about every reliever that came into that ball game threw a ton of pitches. Devin Williams, I don't think will be available today. I'd be shocked if they run him back out there after throwing, I think it was somewhere around 26, 27 pitches. I'm pulling up the box score right now of exactly how many pitches everybody threw. But they went to Devin Williams. They went to Strzelecki, who went more than an inning. They went to Payamps, who went more than an inning. And they went to Peguero, who went more than an inning. Those are all of their best bullpen arms, and they all went more than an inning. So at least a couple of those guys are not going to be available.
Facts.
For that reason, I think Cardinals at plus 105 is a no-brainer, especially after losing that game yesterday. I think they've been playing better as of late, and this is a team that's seen plenty of Corbin Burns. You talk about a prize pick square. I love Paul Goldschmidt with the way he's been swinging it against Corbin Burns because he's had a lot of success against him in his career. Several of these guys have had success against Burns. I think Burns looks a little bit better, and that's why I'll talk about the other play. But Burns has to go 6 or 7, I think, for this Brewers bullpen to be able to close the door. And, I think he could go 5 or 6. I don't know about 7. And that for the odds at plus 105 there with the Cardinals, I think that's great value.
We'll talk about a line move, dude. You know the line flipped and now the Cardinals are minus 115?
Holy shit, really?
Yeah. I mean,
Wow.
You have amazing line movement on a money line. In a game like this, like the way you broke it down, like I went from thinking like the Cardinals might be fake sharp to like they might just be the play.
Can I give you the rundown on pitches by reliever yesterday?
Absolutely.
Peguero, 23 pitches.
Okay. So he might be available, but not rested.
Obi Milner, 22 pitches. Joel
Okay.
Payamps, who's sneaky been great.
Great.
34 pitches. You can chalk him up as
He won't
not
be
available. Strzelecki, 30 pitches. Also not available. And Devin Williams, 27 pitches. He might be available, but like
Maybe not.
that would be iffy. That would be iffy. And he's not going more than 1 in this one. He went
And he's
1
not going to be
2/3
fully
yesterday.
rested. So it's like even if they go,
No.
like he won't be as good as he was yesterday.
Yep. That's what I think. And so I think, and we know there's a drop off in that bullpen. We talked about it. You on the Just Baseball show where, kind of when we were doing the previews, told me like, Arm, I don't think this bullpen's as good as advertised. And when they don't have their A team, I think that bullpen is pretty rough. So I like that pick there at plus 105. Or you talk to me at Peter, because I never understand like I'd take it up to this. I would take it up to minus 110, I guess. Like, what's the like school of thought there? Because I would have probably taken it at minus 110. I probably would have taken it at minus 115.
Yeah. So with betting, it's like the way I do it is first use the model, but I also like, it's almost like when people are talking about whether they would take a price at this or this, like, for example, if the Cardinals were minus 150, you might think they would win, but you don't think that they have a 60% chance of winning, right?
Yeah.
So at plus 105, it's like 48% chance. So you're like, I actually think they have a 52, 53% chance. I think the line should be minus 110, not plus 105, so I'm seeing value. So it's like a price target. Like, there's a point to you're like, yes, I think they win 52% of the time, not 48, so I'm seeing value. But when the line then flips to 53, 54%, then your value isn't really there anymore. You know what I'm 100%. Saying? So it's like
100%.
You got to think about, like, what would you have priced the line at? Like, if you saw it this morning when you made your pick and the Cardinals were minus 115 at the time, like, would you have made this bet still?
I think I would have taken it up to there.
Okay. And so maybe it's like
the other reason why
you have 1 unit to win 1.05. Like, maybe you would say take 1 unit to win 0.91 or whatever it is.
Yeah, 100%. Because, and this is the big part that is kind of the Lede into the other pick in this game, is Liberatore. Like, I know people are saying he hasn't been great in triple, blah, 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 blah. Look at the numbers this year. I know the last 2 starts haven't been as sharp to his standards of where he set it this year. His stuff is up. His command has been better. I don't think he's going to be perfect today. Again, the last 2 starts, his command's been a little bit shakier. But the Brewers are the worst team in Major League Baseball against left-handed pitching. And Liberatore is not a bum. Like, he's not bad. And I really think that uptick in velocity, fastball shape's better, breaking ball looks good. I think he's going to be just fine. And that's why I like the first 5 under 4.5. Brewers need Corbin Burnes. Corbin Burnes I know he's not pitching to the best of his ability, but I think this is where, aces step up. I do think he's going to step in and give you a quality start. If he gives you a quality start, 6 innings of 2 to 3 runs, I think Liberatore can keep them in check too. Under 4.5 through those first 5 innings, I don't think the Brewers are going to be able to put up runs on a lefty, especially with the unfamiliarity of Liberatore. He's looked a lot different than the last time he was in the big leagues. The scouting report's going to be a little bit mixed on him. He's tweaked with his pitch usage start by start by start. And I think Burnes can at least keep them in check. Under 4.5 is the pick for me at 1.2 units.
I like it, dude. I think these are good-ass plays. I think these are smart. I thought the Cardinals might be a sharp trap a little bit, but the more you break it down, the more I'm buying in. Good stuff, Arm. Appreciate you, my friend.
Thank you, brother.
All right, we'll talk soon, all right? Peace. Okay, let's see. Where is... Oh, we got Tomas? Bang. We got Tomas ready to roll. All right, let's get into Tomas's plays. Number 3 on the leaderboard. How'd you do yesterday, my friend?
I went 2-0 yesterday, Peter. We're hot. We're heating up. I tweeted this out like 3 days ago, but I'm not even kidding you. Call me little baby because I'm heating up right now. I'm not even kidding you, Peter. I'm hot. I'm ready to go. And I got 2 plays today. And why not us? I'm going 2-0 again because I'm taking the top spot, Peter. You took it from me. I'm coming back.
Go get it. Let's see what you're on today.
All right. First up, I want to say this because I think I said this to you on Monday. I know when to bet the Washington Nationals. No one else but me. I have not lost yet betting the Nats, and I'm going to go back to the well again today. Mackenzie Gore's on the bump. I have their first 5 money line. I got a 1 unit on it, making me feel even better. I got them at plus 105 this morning. I think they're now like minus, minus 110 I saw earlier today through the first 5. And the reason why I'm playing this is Mackenzie Gore has pitched really well this season. He's pitched better on the road, 2.91 ERA. And I don't trust Edward Cabrera. This is a huge fade spot for him there. I mean, he walks batters at an astounding rate. Free pass 18.3% of the time, ranks bottom 2% of the league. And Washington's a scrappy team. I've watched the last 2 games of this series, And if you let this team hang around and you let them get those free passes and get on base early, they'll find a way to beat you. I know their bullpen cost the game for them yesterday, but that's why I play the first 5. The Nats starting pitching, it has not been as bad as people tend to believe. It's the bullpen that continues to lose them games. I'm back in the Nationals first 5 money line. Give me Mackenzie Gore in this matchup.
Good stuff. I mean, this game gives me the heebie-jeebies a little bit. I've heard a lot of Nationals talk today, and I haven't heard one soul on planet Earth be on the Marlins. But the thing is, the line is moving in your direction, so who am I to say anything, right? So Nationals, first 5, it's at -110 now on BetMGM. Would you still take it?
Oh, I'll still take it. I got it, like I said, I got it plus 105, -110. If anything, I mean, it's still pretty much even money, if you would say. But no, I definitely would still take the Nats first 5.
Love it, my man. And you got more for us today. One more.
I got one more, and I'm going with the Boston Red Sox tonight. I'm taking them on the money line. I got them this morning at -120. The line opened close to a little bit, 115. I think they're now -125, if I believe.
-130.
130. Well, that was. I mean, I'm looking at my write-up right now. The line opened, like I said, closer to -120, home favorite. Now it's at -130, and I just heard Aram come on and just rave about who's on the bump today for Boston. And I also like Brian Bayo too as well. He's given up 3 runs or fewer in each of his last 4 starts. Also, two of these starts was against the Braves and the Blue Jays. And I think he's really starting to figure out because that walk rate is coming down. And this is my thought process. The Mariners are only batting .229 as a team. They're so streaky. This is the rubber match of this series. And I just like Boston at home. I know Marco Gonzalez is the guy that, everyone knows 5 innings, 2-3 runs allowed, whatever, he gets the job done. But I will say this, I really think this Boston offense gets to him a little bit earlier, a little bit more than expected. I know they struggle against lefties, but I just don't like the matchup for Gonzalez because it's a team like Boston who you give them at home, you give them in a rubber match. They got their rookie on the bump. He's going to go shove today, and I'm hoping that this bullpen does not cost me a game today. They did it last week to me, and if I see Kenley Jansen go up there in the 9th with a 2-3 run lead and blow it, I'm done. I'm done with the Red Sox, but I like them today. Bayo's on the bump. Give me Boston.
I mean, I got to say, the pitches you give always fire me up. Like, I kind of like the Mariners today, but you just got to reverse it. I was like, I like the Red Sox now. I mean, that was a great pitch, right? So this game gives, again, like those 2 games in particular that you pitched, like Aram was on Cardinals and Brewers. I don't love that game, but his pitch convinced me. Don't love this Red Sox-Mariners game, but your pitch convinced me. And I also was very in between, obviously, on the total in Nationals versus Marlins, and yet Jake convinced me. What do you think, just for other people listening, because I asked Aram too, like what he thinks about the Marlins and the Nats. Like, you're on the Nats. Did you consider the under at all, just for the people listening
I thought about it, but I can't bet. Like, my whole thought process is, how am I going to bet an under when I know what this Nationals bullpen is? I know I continue to harp on it.
First 5 under. First 5 under.
First five under. I don't trust Edward Cabrera. It's kind of the same thought process of me fading him. I've watched enough. I hate that I've watched enough Marlins games because I'm not even from Miami, but I've watched a lot of Marlins games.
So many Marlins games. I feel like I'm betting the Marlins all the time.
Too many Marlins games and too many Nationals games, and you'd be surprised how many Oakland Athletics baseball games I've also watched this year.
Yeah.
But all I'm saying is Edward Cabrera, he's so streaky. I love his stuff. I mean, this guy is electric when he's on, but if he sits there, I mean, I've seen it so many times throughout the course of his starts, he gets to like the 3rd, 4th inning, and he starts getting that pitch count up. He starts giving these walks, free passes. It only takes one swing of the bat, and bam, the Marlins find themselves in a 3-4-0 hole. I like the Nationals offense. They have been a lot better than I think a lot of people are giving credit for. They just don't hit home runs. That's the reason why they don't, run up the scoreboard or anything. They don't have any home run threats, but they have guys that get on base. I do like what the Nats are doing. That's why I don't like that first 5 under. Plus, I'm not going to really try and back an under when I don't trust the guy on the mound, especially when he's walking guys, like I mentioned, 18.3% of the time. It's just it's a streaky play for me.
And you like the Nats. Less variance on your side. Appreciate you, my guy. Red Sox money line. Washington Nationals through the first 5. Let's go 2-0 again. How about it?
Let's have a day, Peter. Let's have a day.
Keep killing it, my friend. We'll talk soon, all right?
All right, brother.
All right, everybody. Unfortunately, that's the end of the stream because we only had 3 people come on and give picks today. A lot of people are busy today, unfortunately. But again, make sure to claim your bonus bet on BetMGM. It's sitting there in your account. Use it today. Maybe Nationals, maybe first 5 under, maybe Red Sox, maybe Cardinals, maybe that under in Cardinals, maybe some of my plays, whatever it is. Appreciate you guys listening again. Make sure to download the Pickett Sports app in case you ever miss plays. Use our promo code Peter when you sync your sports book. Prize Picks. Code Just Baseball. We saw a couple of good plays there. Again, appreciate you guys listening. And the big announcement, it's not a big announcement. We just won't be streaming tomorrow. Where do you get the bonus bet? I don't see it. So if you have used our code, JBFans, on BetMGM, the bonus should be in your account. But let's say you haven't used our code yet and you're a new user on BetMGM. The code is right there, as you can see on screen. The code is JBFans. You wager $10 on an MLB money line, and then you will get $100 in bonus bets once that bet is settled. And then once you use the code, you're going to get a bonus bet every Wednesday and Saturday. But we won't be streaming tomorrow. Unfortunately, we only have 6 games. So we'll be back on Friday. Thanks again, everybody, for listening. Let's win some bets today. Why not us? But it's not gambling.